Today we're going to start our interactive art piece for space. First, you're going to have a black piece of cardstock, and we're going to take a white color pencil, write your name, your teacher, and your grade. This will be the back. After that, turn it over. The first thing we're going to draw directly on this black paper is a section of the earth. So we need a white oil pastel, and you're going to, on the corner or the side, make a very small section to be a partial earth. Then you need light blue, light green, and the white. And you don't have to make a particular part of the earth, but you need some ocean, you need some land, you could even do a little bit of a polar ice cap, but you need to color in kind of hard and so make the layers of the pastel thick to create our earth. I'm going right up to the white line and even covering it a little bit, so that way it glows, but it's the same color as the ocean or land or whatever I am drawing. The reason we're doing this is because in our art piece, we're gonna have the different stages of a meteor outside of the atmosphere, in the atmosphere, and also on the ground, and what those are called. So we do need some ground or some solid land, and then some ocean as well. On the outside, I'm going to take my pastel and lightly, I'm going to do some rings. This is going to represent our atmosphere. So I'm going to do white. I'm also going to do a little bit of blue. It should not be hard because it's supposed to look kind of see-through and a little less intense than the ground itself. It goes about an inch away from the atmosphere. I'm also using white to do some clouds. That's optional, just to make it look a little bit more like Earth. Now, once you're done with this, you can take your white again, and we're gonna add very far away stars. So little dots all over the paper. And this is the last thing we're going to do in pastel. So create a few dots, not too many. If you'd like to do a constellation, go right ahead. That's up to you. And it doesn't have to be like a realistic constellation. You can kind of make one up. The next thing we're gonna do is we need our sheet protector. So we're using that as the overlay for the rest of the celestial bodies going into our piece. We're gonna put the black piece of cardstock inside so we can trace the edge of the earth. Or you can put it right on top. Either way, you're gonna trace the edge of the earth with a black Sharpie or blue, it really doesn't matter, just so you know where it is. And it does not have to be perfect. All right, we're done with our black piece of cardstock for a while, so you can put that to the side, and you need a white piece of computer paper. With our white piece of computer paper, I'm going to, with a pencil, try to mark off where my earth is. So I'm gonna mark the corners. Oops, I should use a normal pencil. And kind of mark where the middle is and make that curve for the earth. This is just to help me do the different kinds of levels of the meteor. All right, now I'm gonna sketch out what's required for this. So I have a partial earth already on the black paper. You can have 2 to 3 other celestial bodies. They don't have to be realistic in terms of scale. You have to have a meteoroid outside the atmosphere, a meteor inside the atmosphere burning up, and a meteorite, one on the ground. After that, it's up to you what celestial bodies you want. Once again, they don't have to be realistic. I think this one I'm gonna turn to Venus eventually. I'm gonna have a comet. You can also do satellites or other spaceships. This one's going to be partial, so you can have things kind of going off the page. That might make for a more interesting composition. Saturn's definitely not that close, and you'll see that I definitely won't draw Saturn in the correct coloring, but that's okay because this is my artwork and I'm trying to be creative. I'm gonna do a moon, or the moon, over here. And I believe Yep, I'm going to try to do Sputnik right here, and then at the top, eventually, I'm going to hide a little alien. All right, now that I have all my celestial bodies, 2 to 3 of them, my meteoroid, meteorite, my partial Earth, and one fun object at least, I'm going to put it back into the sheet protector. This time I'm going to put it in because I don't want it to move around. Now I'm going to get Sharpies, and all my celestial bodies need to be colored in. So remember, it's going to have a white background behind it, so however you color it on this white paper is how it's going to look when it's interacted with. I'm also going to do black outlines on most things just to make it stand out a little bit more. I'm going to speed this part up, but you can see I'm creative with coloring. You can kind of blend Sharpies a little bit, so feel free to do that. Sometimes I put the darker colors down and then I use a lighter color to blend and make it kind of swirly. We can experiment using maybe hand sanitizer to blend it a little more. That kind of takes it off more, but we can work with that too. But I'm gonna go ahead and color my celestial bodies, talk to you a little bit about them. So there's my Sputnik. I know there's no silver, but I like to do black and like light blue for silver things. Kind of has a similar effect. You want colors that will mix well together. So this one I think is supposed to be my Venus, so it's going to have those kind of lines across it. But once again, I don't have to make it super realistic. This is an interpretation. Later when I do my meteorite, and I'm going to probably use more browns and stuff. When I do my comet, I'll probably use blues because it's partial ice. So thinking about like what these things are made of and what kind of colors you should use. I'm using yellow in there so it looks kind of like it has a little bit of light to it. Tracing them just so they stand out a little bit more. All right, here's my comet. So ice and rock, and I'm gonna have ice coming off of it. And then when I was looking at a comet, the tail of it had all these crazy colors. So I'm just gonna do some warm kind of colors. I'm also gonna do blue because, you know, there's ice in it. So I wanna make it distinctive from, so fire colors, but also like ice coming off it maybe. There we go. Here's my alien, my fun object. Once again, if I wanted to make it silverish, I'd probably just use a light blue. And my moon, I'm just going to use black to make some texture, maybe a few lines to kind of show a shadow. All right, now we're gonna test it out. So I'm gonna take my white paper out. I'm gonna put my black paper in and see how it looks. So everything should be pretty hidden with the black paper behind it. All right, next we're gonna show you how to do the astronaut that's going to light up these things. So you can see that this will be our astronaut. We're gonna cut both sides of the sheet protector so he can go in both sides, but we'll talk about how to do him next.